Hello everyone, I'm Toshiko Oda from Tokyo Kizai University. Today I'll be talking about utility and challenges of online short-term study abroad English programs. Introduction. Short-term study abroad programs have been a major option for college students in Japan. Then, online short-term programs emerged during the pandemic in 2020 as an alternative to physical short-term programs. Some universities in Japan started offering short-term online programs, but their options are still limited. Then, some students naturally seek online programs outside their universities. What happens when college students personally participate in online short-term study abroad programs that are not organized by the universities? The goals of this study is to present the cases of two college students who participated in online short-term study abroad programs of the English language and to discuss the utility and challenges of the programs. I will argue that online study abroad programs can be a viable option for college students in Japan even after the pandemic is over. The outline of this presentation is given on the slide. I will introduce the cases of student T and student K at Tokyo Kizai University. Each of them participated in an online study abroad program for 5 days. Their cases are of interest to other college students because many college students participate in study abroad programs that are not organized by the institutions. The data on the slide were obtained from JASO 2019. Student D would like to study in Sydney for 6 months as an exchange student. Her TOEIC and TOEFL scores are sufficient to participate in English programs. However, she would like to improve her English so that she will be able to join regular academic courses in Sydney. She participated in an online English program offered by a language school in Malta called Club Class for 5 days to check the progress of her English. The total cost was 80 euros. This is what student T has experienced. She performed an internet search in English to find a program and sent inquiries written by herself in English. She completed an application form, made a payment, took a placement test, and finally attended the online program. After the program was completed, she gave a presentation at her university in Japan about her experience of the online program. Student K is interested in spending 1 year abroad. His English score is on average at his university. Importantly, in the past, he had participated in a 2-week physical study abroad program in Australia. The program was organized by his university. He liked the program reasonably, but he was not fully satisfied because the program was exclusively for students from his university. Therefore, he did not have the opportunity to interact with students of his age from other parts of the world. Therefore, he would like to join a long-term program that is not organized by his university. One of the possible destinations he has in mind is Malta. Therefore, he chose an online English program offered by the Malta University Language School. He was not confident about going through the application process in English by himself. Therefore, he signed up for the program through a Japanese travel agent. The total cost was 25,800 Japanese yen. Student K performed most of the application procedures using Japanese. After completing the program, he had a chance to give a presentation about his online program using Japanese at his university in Japan. Now, I'd like to take a question that many people may want to ask. What are the differences between physical programs and online programs? The comparison chart given on the slide was made by student K. He has experience in both physical and online study abroad programs. He says that in the online program, it was somewhat difficult to make friends with his classmates, and this affected his motivation. English learning was also somewhat limited compared to that of the physical program. Nevertheless, he found that the online program was reasonably useful. Affordability was the biggest advantage of the online program. Let's say online programs are reasonably useful. Then the next question would be, how are online study abroad programs different from domestic online programs? Because students will stay in Japan in both cases. While student T and student K both say that there are differences. They say the instructors in Malta are more encouraging than the instructors in Japan. Also, the lessons in Malta are more interactive than the lessons in Japan. And most importantly, they had classmates from many places around the world in the Malta programs. Now, let us discuss the utility of online study abroad programs. Short-term online study abroad programs serve as a trial for a long-term study abroad program. For instance, students can see if the school they choose is appropriate before making a long-term commitment. If the school is not appropriate, students can switch to other schools, possibly in different countries. This applies to student K, who wants to check if Malta is a good option for his future long-term stay. Next, by taking an online program, students can see where their classmates are from. A common complaint made by Japanese students is that the demographics of students at a language school are somewhat different from what they expected. For instance, the websites of a language school present photos of students with diversity. However, in reality, students from Japan could be the majority. Some language schools post information about their student body demographics on their websites, but it may or may not be updated. Next, students can check whether or not physical programs can be the only option. If students find online programs reasonably effective, they can take a long-term online program which can be complemented by a short-term stay. Such a combination of online and physical study abroad programs can be an option for students with schedule or budget limitations. In addition, students can join an online short-term program and see whether taking an English course is really what they want before signing up for a physical program. If students discover that taking English courses is not what they want, they can switch to other options such as volunteering abroad, internship abroad, and others. In short, students can check these aspects by taking part in an online short-term program at a relatively affordable cost before making a long-term commitment. Therefore, short-term online programs serve as a bridge for better long-term planning. Second, online short-term study abroad programs can function as a level checker and motivation booster. For instance, student T would like to know if her English is proficient enough to join academic courses in Sydney. Student K would like to know if he is ready for a long-term stay alone. They both feel that it is hard to check these aspects in Japan because English instructors in Japan are familiar with Japanese English spoken by Japanese college students. The TOEIC scores of student T and student K have improved. However, the test scores do not reveal much about their real proficiency. After completing their short-term programs, student T and student K said the following. Student T: I thought my listening skills were holding me back. In order to join academic courses in Sydney, I need to improve my listening skills. Student K. My speaking skills are still very limited, but I could get by somehow. I think I will enjoy a long-term stay in Malta. Third, the entire process of signing up for short-term courses was a small business experience for student T and student K. Especially, student T went through all the procedures, which included sending inquiries, receiving an invoice, making a payment, and receiving a receipt in English, which was quite a challenge for her. Japanese college students are often reluctant to go through such paperwork, and they often join a program organized by their institutions to avoid paperwork, especially in English. In my opinion, however, going through such paperwork itself is a valuable experience, and short-term programs provide such opportunities. Japanese college students may encounter challenges. One of the challenges is to find a good program. To find an appropriate program, they need to check things including but not limited to what are listed on the slide. Both student T and student K spent long hours and independently came to their conclusion to choose programs in Malta. They said it was harder than they thought to choose a good program for them. Personally, I think it is a learning opportunity for students to struggle to find a suitable program for themselves. However, consultation with instructors may be effective when students feel insecure. As far as I can see, the biggest challenge for Japanese college students is to make safe payments. Some of the payment options that student T and student K had are listed on the slide. They all have advantages and disadvantages. The use of credit cards is a familiar option in Japan, but it is less safe. In addition, some Japanese college students do not have their own credit cards. I would recommend them to use PayPal whenever they can, but PayPal is not well known among Japanese college students. Student T used Flywire, which was not necessarily cost effective but safer than giving out credit card numbers. Using Flywire was convenient as everything was done on the internet. Bank transfers are a major option in Japan, however, transaction fees are expensive. It is important for Japanese college students to study the options themselves. However, consultations with instructors can be effective in ensuring that students can make safe payments. What can instructors do? Instructors can help students check the quality of programs. Also, instructors can help students make payments safely. Instructors can set up a platform for students to exchange their experience of short-term study abroad programs. Setting subsidies by universities will be very useful for students. Finally, and most importantly, instructors can set up pre- and post-study abroad activities for students which will enhance the learning outcomes of short-term programs. As I already mentioned, both student T and student K had a chance to give a presentation at their universities. They delivered their presentation in Japanese this time, but it could be also done in English. Conclusion. Online short-term study abroad English programs are a viable option for Japanese college students during the pandemic and even after the pandemic. Short-term programs serve as a bridge to future long-term programs, allowing students to check the content and quality of the programs before they make a long-term commitment. Even a weak program itself can provide a good learning opportunity. If students sign up for programs that are not organized by their universities, it involves many procedures which students can learn from. This study is based on the observation of very limited number of students. Further case studies are required. We are still at an early stage of online study abroad programs, it is time for us to bring our experience together for a better understanding of online study abroad programs. Thank you very much.